Are we here? Are we here? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I just believe that it'll be better served to do the business here. Also, I need to change the what's it called? The picture. The picture there is not it's not right. I know the thumbnail is wrong, by the way. Um afterwards afterwards I will go back to Twitch until I can figure something out just for now. Also, forgive the thumbnail. The thumbnail's wrong. I'm fixing it right now. The thumbnail's not right. The thumbnail's very very wrong. Uh we're going to start in just a second. I just want to change the thumbnail. It's wrong right now. It's ReZero, man. We got to show up for ReZero. So, I want to make sure it's right. This is ReZero. Ugh, come on. This is so annoying. Oh my goodness. Man, I mean, this is the first time I'm doing this, and there's a lot of hiccups here. I do apologize. I do apologize. It's not supposed to be this way. Um, solid color, make it black. Arc 5, chapter. This is Arc 5, chapter 34. I'm reading the light novel. I'm reading the light novel, and one thing, why don't you react to Studio Reverie chapter reading so you don't have to read out loud? Well, that's fine. And I'm willing to definitely check it out. My only issue with that is, I like having that, or you know, and also, somebody made a good point about the copywriting stuff. That's true, but also I like to have that experience firsthand. So, you know, this is the web novel. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Ah, boy. Like, Rebirth doesn't know what he's talking about, yo. Uh, okay, give me, blue. Okay, web novel. That's my fault. Web novel. We are reading the web novel. I'm about to start reading in just a second. I'm just trying to put a new thumbnail on because the one I have right now is wrong. Man, this is making me feel super nostalgic. I won't lie to you. Just a second ago, I was talking to a close friend of mine, and I mentioned because we were talking about ReZero, and ReZero season 1 is one of the most fun I've had watching an anime in a long time. Like season 1 is one of the most fun I've had. It was crazy how great that experience was. Arc 5, Chapter 34. Yeah, season 1 was so great. It, it was so great for so many different reasons, and like, I might just go back to re-experience it in the future, really soon, because it was just special. It was just really special. Anyway, I got my thumbnail. I got my thumbnail. I have my thumbnail, so let me just put the thumbnail up, and then we are a-okay to go. See what Nagatsuki has in store for us. There we go. All right, you know what? Let's read. That's enough. Let's read. Let us read. So. Can you guys let me know if I start to lag? I'm lagging. Man, okay. Well, I guess we'll stop. We'll just stop. I know I'm lagging. I know I'm lagging. I was gonna record it because I changed to YouTube and they still are having trouble. So we'll just not. We'll just not. All right. So here we are. Let's continue. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. So this is where we are. Let's continue. The Knight of Knights had his blade raised at his shoulder height, eyes never leaving the Black Dragon. Of course, Subaru and the others were in the same state. Standing in front of them were two swordsmen of outstanding strength, and the Black Dragon who had named herself the Archbishop of Lust. Their original unease had compounded into a wall of tension. At the least, we have a chance of dealing with the swordsman, the woman who wielded her blade with nary a flaw in posture, and the giant who waved his swords around, as if refamiliarizing himself with Subaru's group. Here's a question. Here's a question. I got a question. Quick question. Alright? Now, I may not be remembering this correctly, but Is everything okay? I think everything okay. I have a question. This is Capella, is it not? This is Capella, and I'm just trying to figure out that when they talk about, when they keep talking about this dragon, they keep referring to the dragon as Capella. Capella and the dragon are the same being. Did she transform into a dragon? Is that the assumption? Because I'm not sure. I'm assuming she did. Okay, yes. Cool, thank you. Let us continue then. Alright then, so. Although the extent of the sword woman's strength was still unknown, the giant had chosen to directly take Ricardo's attack. Needless to say, it was not because of Amy's clumsiness, but because he had a strategy in mind. Long-range attacks, their earlier plan, would still be incredibly effective. However, there was one pressing problem without a solution. Is there anyone here who's fought a dragon? Yes. Wilhelm-san, seriously? Although Subaru had thought of his question hopeless, Wilhelm had responded with affirmation. The old swordsman turned to face the surprised Subaru. Nearly 40 years ago, I was sent to subjugate an evil dragon named Valgren, who appeared to Luginicus south. The incident caused much diplomatic tension because of its proximity to Wallachia. Setting the diplomatic ramifications aside, how was the experience of fighting a dragon? More than 10% of our knights were sent to the battle, and although the crusade succeeded, 40% of those knights died. The crusade succeeded, but the result was considerable. Its ability to fly, its endless stamina were things that we should have taken into better consideration. Oh, let me change the title. It's not light novel, it's web novel. I'm tripping today. I'm tripping. Sorry, I fixed it. I fixed it. Alright, so. It would seem that our situation is rather desperate. Seeing Subaru's despair, Wilhelm continued. Come to think of it, compared to Valgren, this dragon is smaller in size. It should die upon beheading. And Valgren wouldn't. Valgren had a total of 3 heads, which all needed to be removed. Having finished speaking of that distant battle, Wilhelm tightened his grip on his sword, so beheading would certainly kill it. That was reassuring. Seeing Wilhelm's well-prepared stance, Subaru also took up a battle pose, whip in hand. Seeing the refusal to yield, Capella seemed rather surprised. My, you're all so disgusting. You're beaten and miserable, and aside from my reinforcements, you're facing a sin archbishop. You rotten creatures should hang your heads and channel the meekness of mice, and yet you're acting all normal? Was putting you with all the other insects wrong? Gahahaha. Stop effing around. What can you do against our numbers? My amazing self will go up there and crush you. Kahahaha. The barking of this rabid dog is hurting my sacred ears. Or rather, I made a mistake. You're not a rabid hound. You're only a puny kitten. Meow, meow, meow. Don't be angry just because that kitty you were with died. Oh, okay, he gets mad at that. Faced with those cruel jabs, Garfield shouted, but choked on his own response. The dragon was clearly referring to Garfield's earlier defeat, where he had almost been beaten to death. Someone Capella had been watching the fight. And what surprised Garfield even more, bastard, how'd you know my amazing self's a demi-human? How do I know that? Don't think so highly of yourself. Not even a single one of your hairs interests me. I could tell that you were a filthy half-breed the moment I saw you. Go die the way you lived, as a degenerate beast. Speaking unspeakably cruel curses, Capella turned towards the rest of their party, sniffing the air. What a stench, what a stench. You slabs of meat all smell rotten. Moldy, rotten garbage meat. Preserved meats from the trash. Ah, disgusting. Capella, constantly giving her toxic comments, turned her gaze slightly in Crucia's direction. A sticky feverish light entered her eyes as she pouted all her attention upon Crush, who subconsciously hugged herself tightly. When Capella spoke again, her voice was almost pleasant. But mixed with all that refuse is quite a slab piece of meat. So attractive, perfectly in line with tastes. This meat smells like the finest of meats. What beauty, that body, that appeal. Ah, I really, really want to break it with my own two hands. Crucis says, that's enough. And by the way, is the sound good from this length? Like, if I sit back this far, can you hear me okay? Or is it bad? I want to know. I want to know, if I sit back this far, can you hear me well? Okay, cool. I'll sit here. So that because my back is killing me. I don't know why. The chair is so uncomfortable right now. At this moment, the pressure of anger interjected to interrupt each other. Her attention still fixed on Crush. The dragon looked up impatiently. Julius, who had approached Crush in her distracted state, looked rather like a conductor. Be burned by my sixfold light, El Pralian. Julius's six spirits, which each gleamed with a different color as they fired a beam of light upward. When that iridescent light reached Capella, it shone white and she began to scream. This is the price for your chatter. If you had any real skill, you wouldn't spout such nonsense. Obeying Julius's command, his spirits continually fired their scorching lights. With Capella's piercing scream serving as background music, the two swordsmen who had been silent and still suddenly kicked off the slate ground, flying towards Subaru's group. Stop there! The hell? Here, Garfield and Wilhelm both spoke up. Wilhelm flew straight for the swordswoman, while Garfield faced the giant twin blades with his own twin shields. Don't leave. Show me your swordplay. As she began to retreat after meeting his first blow, Wilhelm cut her off with a sudden strike. The old swordsman full breakthrough struck up and down with the violence of a storm. The length of her blade wasn't conducive to quick action, which served her defense poorly as Wilhelm gave rapid strike after strike. Even so, the woman also proved fearsome. She cleverly shied away from any swing that she was unable to parry, and smoothly, with practiced ease, regained her balance. Each time her whirling sword stabbed forth, it became more apparent that she, the female swordsman's body, was bound for the sword to which she used. Wilhelm's skill was enough for him to challenge the white whale, but facing him, this woman's skill was enough to press Wilhelm back. That's interesting. Wilhelm is getting pushed back. That is really good. Alright, since I'm sitting back, let me just raise the volume a little bit. I'm sitting back, so. Alright. I'm sitting further back, so I raised the volume. So, let me see. Issuing a roar, with momentum smooth as silk, Wilhelm's rotation of cuts and swings increased in speed. Although his body itself was old, his technique was still incredibly honed. His swordplay was the pinnacle of swordsmanship, and most swordsmen would never match up to him. His blade a mere flash, he flew through the air, preparing to flatten the woman into the earth. Still silent, the woman was prepared to withstand each blow, her resolve steeled. Without words, without righteousness, the woman was like a doll whose only purpose was battle. Obedience had been carved into the body of this doll who only swung a blade. The collisions of steel erupted through the air like a blast. However, her sword must have been light, much lighter than Wilhelm's. Each side's swordplay was clean and pure, and aside from strikes on their respective targets, no unnecessary destruction happened. The two flew into their solitary dance of swordplay. Alright? The two waged their silent battle, their swords only being seen as flashes. This was the sacred realm of their duel, and intruders could not be tolerated. Not far away, another battle was being waged. Roaring, muscle flexing, Garfield deflected the giant's blows. Stuck with dizziness, he counterattacked, beating, roaring, visceral defeat, nausea, bones creaking. Unlike the elegant duel taking place next to them, this battle was one marked by chaos. Although the giant could be called a swordsman, his fighting style was different from what that could imply. It was irrational as a barbarian or a beast. Alright? Correspondingly, Garfield also fought without a sense of etiquette. Garfield's fighting style was wild and animalistic. Due to Subaru's influence, he named it Garfield's Flow in Battle. This was an absurd violence that only Garfield, who relied on instinct, could perform. It couldn't be imitated by anyone. In fact, Garfield's violent blow suited the barbaric giant before him. This obviously savage duel was one of stamina. The opponent who tired first would lose. Therefore, success or failure was incredibly variable. Those giant swords were so incredibly heavy that a direct blow would surely shatter Garfield's elbow, yet he needed to use his arms to deal with them. Garfield needed to decisively use his shields. Holding them obliquely, his arm blocks the massive sword, but he allows it to slide along the shield, thus parrying it away. So, I believe what Garfield's doing is when the giant guy swings down, he blocks, but he doesn't just block to take the brunt of the swing on his shields. He blocks and parries. So I don't know if he's using two hands, but at the very least, with one hand, he's blocking and parrying. He's just redirecting. He's not just taking it. He's just redirecting because under normal circumstances, he wouldn't be able to. Very cool. The giant's unpredictable movements were no mere barbarism. Wait, I lost where I was. Right here. The giant's unpredictable movements were no mere barbarism, but he used not the slightest trick. His strikes were shockingly direct and powerful. Yeah, sorry guys about the title. That's my bad. Sorry. This cannot be achieved with talent alone. The giant had clearly practiced tens of millions of swings to earn his power. Taking those swords head-on, blocking them would surely be impossible. If there was even a slight wrong move, the giant sword would cleave the silver shield in half, and Garfield's body would resemble that broken shield. Don't kid around no more. Garfield had been doing everything possible to combat the pressure of the large swords. As they slashed from above, as they swept from the sides, as they swung up from below, Garfield parried all of them. Then, from a gap, his arm took a punch, forcing Garfield to retreat. The trouble was, in addition to two powerful hands waving large swords, the giant had another 6 arms. He has a total of 8 arms. That's crazy. Is there a lag? Is there lag? I didn't think there was lag. I think it's okay. Alright. Garfield's defense could be punctured with a third attack, and the giant had started using not 2 but 3 arms to wield swords. Garfield had the advantage in speed, but that giant's strength was far superior. As his chin was struck, as he parried those massive swords, his knees were kicked, sending his face plummeting towards the ground. 4 more blows followed this, but Garfield caught himself as he fell, and finally managed to block attack, planting his feet firmly on the ground. Okay, thank you, Ethan. I saw it. I wasn't able to look, but thank you, Ethan. Thank you. Blood, broken bones, and bitter cries, those were what this savage battlefield was filled with. Watching the two passionate warriors, Subaru unable to interfere with that chaos. Okay, the sentence structure there is weird. On one side, Wilhelm's quiet duel, and on the other was Garfield's chaotic war. Subaru and Krush held their breaths, unable to join the battlefield on either side. This was not due to any inability, rather they were too shocked by the fighting spirits from both sides to react. However, unlike Subaru, who was submerged in awe, this is bad, we have to act soon. Ricardo, who had been serving Julius' magic, took a step forward. Seeing Ricardo's movement, Subaru issued a right and also began to move. But, Subaru, get down. Feeling a sudden yank on his collar, Subaru found himself being dragged to the ground by Krush. Ricardo stood in front of the two, shielding them, releasing a ferocious roar. The fierce sound wave shook the atmosphere, creating an invisible force of destruction. This roaring wave was the same as the one Mimi and her brothers had used against a white whale. This was an incredibly powerful skill that had noticeably injured it, and Ricardo had just now unleashed it completely on its own. Beaten back by the roar was a glowing black flame. That dark flame had scattered in the face of that wave. The nature of the fire was even more frightening than its burning. Anything it touched crumbled to ash, which poured all over the square as it fell. However, The real horror in those scattered residual flames was, in fact, the fire isn't going out. Black ash fell to the slate ground, still burning without any sustenance. The flames continued to burn and they swelled and stretched and spread. Any fire that had fallen on the surface of the water also continued to burn. Like dripping oil into water, the fire leapt higher as if showing its superiority. Bro, how long are you planning to stay that way? Speaking of which, doesn't this situation usually happen in reverse? This sounds like an Amaterasu. This sounds like a Amaterasu. Subaru, no matter how you look at it, being protected by a woman is... okay. Ricardo and Julius both offered discouraging words to Subaru, who was still recovering from the terror of scattered fire. From their point of view, Subaru lay on the ground under Krush, who was deflecting any damage from him. It's great that you're unhurt. Please rest assured, I'll refrain from saying anything about this to Ferris and Emilia. I feel even more ashamed for feeling relieved. Krush pulled him to his feet, adding another point to Subaru's shame score. Petting himself up, Subaru looked up. I can't read. Subaru looked up to the source of the black flame. Of course, that was the black dragon, who sat wearing a frown. He could sense nothing from her but a sense of disgust. Disgusting, disgusting, don't look at me with such an excited gaze. Stop looking. Don't violate me with your dirty eyes. What the heck? It's like they say, you're forbidden from stroking any dancers who perform for you, so stop ravishing this charming lady. Gahaha. Yo, you look like this. You shouldn't be talking. You look like this. You can't talk. You shouldn't be talking. Alright? You should not be talking. You look like this. I guarantee you, no man in his right mind is here being all like, you know, whatever it is you're describing. Alright? Like, nah. And if you're into this, I disagree. You shouldn't be. I said it. You shouldn't be. Anyway. Despite being directly attacked by Julius's magic, Capella acted as if nothing had happened. However, that wasn't to say that she hadn't suffered any harm. In fact, she'd suffered considerable damage from his attack. The dragon's right wing had been burned off until it was no more than a festering, bloodied piece of flesh. Perhaps she'd wanted to use the wing to protect her body, but injury had been the price for her body's safety. The magic had burned through the dragon's wing, reaching her body. Her abdomen had been scorched and melted, and her innards seemed to have been boiled. The right side of the dragon's face had been blown off, and her wagging tongue, which enjoyed ridiculing others, had been severed. Her eyes dangled freely, no longer resting in their sockets. Half dead wouldn't cut it. This was nothing but a corpse. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Subaru audibly swallowed. Julius and Ricardo frowned, and Krush couldn't help but give a little girl's gasp. But this wasn't due to the dragon's horrific state. Instead, it was due to that battered flesh regenerating. The sentence structures are kind of weird at times. Melted bones regrew, destroyed muscles lengthened, severed tissue sutured. Capella's destroyed body regenerated at an alarming rate. The impossible heat given off by her regeneration evaporated any remaining traces of blood. Now, having seen even my beautiful internal organs, are you satisfied? Ugh. Are you a group of rotten garbage creatures who get turned on watching my metamorphosis? Satisfied? Hey, were you so satisfied you started leaking? Stop! What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I guarantee you that is not happening. All right, like, stop it. What are you doing? I don't know what her deal is, but you need to stop. All right, we don't care. We literally don't care. Shouldn't you be able to tell on sight? Did you actually have to ask? How foolish. One second, guys. Sorry about that. There was noise. Sorry about that noise. Anyway, let's continue. She's mad about something. I don't know. Okay. She's mad about something. I don't know. Anyway. I need to move out. Low key. I need to move out. Anyway. Subaru couldn't help but gulp at Capella's description of her own power. The thought that she was bluffing crossed his mind. Indeed, it would be comforting to think that she was bluffing. It's nothing but a quick regeneration ability. Call it what you want. I'm not strong enough to call it invincible, so immortal it is. What? Wait, Capella's immortal? Capella's immortal? That's crazy. My, you're unable to talk anymore. You disgusting rotten eggs. You putrid filthy meat. Go die. Everyone except me should go die. I got a question. When it comes to Capella, when we cite Capella as the person talking, is she in dragon form or is she in human form? So, like, all this conversation that she's having about looking at her or whatever, this isn't even her in human form. I mean, even in human form, we wouldn't. But even more so in dragon form. She's saying all these things about looking at her. Okay, she's pranking me. She's banging on my door as a Okay, I think we're good. Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's the weird thing. Capella is in dragon form, and she's talking about her appearances and how good she looks, but she's in dragon form. That's not attractive. But anyway, Capella interrupted her own foul words. She unfurled her healed wings and fluttered them, slowly bringing her bulky form towards the roof of the city hall. Thinking that she was preparing to swoop upon them, Subaru braced himself for her attack. However, time's up. I have to go make the next broadcast, so I'll go inside. Talking to you is just a waste of time and I'm in a hurry. You all stay here and die along with that rather lovely piece of meat. Go rot in hell. Suddenly losing interest, Capella yawned and stroked leisurely into the hall, where Subaru lost sight of her, but couldn't help but consider whether or not that was meant to lure her enemies deeper in. She might be trying to lure us in, don't you think? But we can't let her make that broadcast. If we let her go, the city's gonna fall into a panic. Everyone will find out what we're doing. We have to catch up with her. Some unknown hunch led him on. Furthermore, with that size, how did Capella enter the inside of the city hall? Although he didn't know how large the broadcast room was, it seemed that Capella would destroy the room with a single large movement. But he didn't have the time to consider this right now. Alright, I'll stay with those two to deal with the guys on the outside. Bro, you'll go inside with Jewel-chan and Cruz-san. Ricardo gave instructions to Subaru, who gave a questioning look at his decisive words. These swordsmen are a bit too much for you and Cruz, and I'm not suited for indoor action. Julius can handle that pretty good, don't you think? A very apt judgment. To be honest, I'd be worried leaving only William and Garfield here, so I'll leave it up to you, Ricardo. Of course, I won't disappoint. Julius and Ricardo nodded to each other, leaving no room for doubt. Being from the same faction, perhaps they could communicate with your intent with only a glance. Subaru was unable to protest, so scratching his head, Garfield, you're absolutely not allowed to lose. After you send that guy flying and we defeat Lust, we're going to go save Amelia. Do you hear me? I'm sorry, wait, what? Oh, right. What's his name? Ah, shoot, the Archbishop of Greed. Well, I've forgotten his name. He took Amelia. What's his name? Shoot. His name escapes me. What's the name of the Archbishop of Greed? Regulus Cornelius. That's right. Regulus took Amelia. Alright, cool. Captain, I ain't got time to deal with you right now. Subaru spoke to Garfield, who was still engaged in his chaotic war. Next to him, Crush lifted a hand towards her mouth, aiming her voice in Wilhelm's direction. Wilhelm, I'll leave it to you. No need to worry. Wilhelm gave a brief response to his master's brief words. A true master and vassal only needed those brief words. Then, led by Julius, Subaru and Crush made their move. Leaving the central square, the three ran towards the interior of the city hall. The two figures guarding the tower responded to this, foregoing their current opponents for Subaru's group. Standing in a line like this made things easier for me. His ferocious laugh created destructive sound waves which swept up scattered words. The alliteration is crazy. His ferocious laugh created destructive sound waves which swept up small scattered stones, and the giant and the woman faltered slightly. Although the power of the roaring waves had begun to diminish, they were still effective in halting the two. Behind them, their opponents caught up, contempt in their eyes. How discourteous, ignoring me when I have eyes only for you. Don't turn your ass to your opponent unless you want it gone. Slashing and slicing, striking and stabbing, the chaotic duels in the square continued. Fierce battles were allowed for no outside intervention. Unable to hear the sounds of the battle any longer, Subaru rushed towards the entrance of the city hall. Where would the room be? I don't know for certain, but I think it would be at the uppermost level, for the sound to reach as far as possible. There may be ambushes along the way, be careful. Passing the main entrance, they arrived inside the city hall. A place that should have been crowded with a lovely lady providing a reception service and bright lights coloring the scenes was now dimly lit in a state of apparent turmoil. Fortunately, there were no other cultists occupying this level, nor were there corpses strewn across the room, so come on, let's go. There should be some kind of floor map telling us where the room is. If we can, I'd also like to confirm the safety of the staff here, although that's looking a bit helpless. He checked the help desk and confirmed that no one was hiding there, then pointed to the stairs. Julius ascended the steps quietly, peering deep into the corridor and gently shook his head. Krish followed him with a frown, and upon tracing his gaze, her expression trembled. Seeing her reaction, Subaru joined the two, and seeing what they did, held his breath. With dragging, pitter-pattering steps, a figure appeared. Peeking around the stairs, a child wearing a devilish smile emerged. At first glance, he was only a kid. A petite physique, a childlike face evoking an image of youthfulness. However, this notion existed in appearance only. His dark brown hair hung loose, and his body was wrapped in a single cloth, giving him a rather grim appearance. With a devilish smile on his face, his eyes looked as if they had contained all the poisons in the world, with decaying glows and toxic liquids. They were, of course, not the eyes of a human being. And, in the present circumstances, it was evident what was wrong with him. So happy, very happy, so very happy, so very, very happy. Because of this happiness, such happiness, incredibly happiness, such incredible happiness, such incredibly incredible happiness deserves a feast. Feast. It's been a really suffering wait with this empty stomach. So the first bite must be delicious to make up for it. Pleased, happy from the bottom of his heart, the barefoot boy marched as if dancing to a beat. As he spoke, he revealed his teeth, which were the length of the canines. Seeing that image, that attitude, that exaggerated speech, Subaru's mind began to boil. If that wasn't just his imagination, if this boiling rage did exist, then this kid was... If you're some naughty kid who slipped in here playing hide and seek, explain yourself quickly. If that's really the case, we'll let you go, but if not, hurry up and name yourself. Speaking in a low voice, Subaru deliberately forced himself to remain calm. And as if deliberately provoking Subaru, the kid twisted his juvenile face in a mocking laugh. Are you really confronting us with that attitude? Is that attitude meant for us or someone else? Check it for yourself. That's enough. I can see that you're my enemy. We are the witch cultists and Archbishop of Gluttony. Oh, you. You. You see the girl who's like over here? There's a girl, you can see a girl over here, alright? What is her name? Tell me what her name is, please. Someone please tell me what the girl's name there is. Alright, what do we call her? What do you call her? I want to know. I genuinely want to know. Alright? She's a girl, blue hair, a maid outfit, one of the greatest characters in the series. What is her name? I forgot her name. I'm just trying to remind myself what her name is. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. People are like, I don't know who that is. You know very well who that is. It's Rem, alright? It's Rem. Or have you guys forgotten as well? Oh, okay. I walked right into that. I'm actually asking the question, but I can see you guys are playing on the fact that nobody remembers who she is. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, alright? You guys are evil. All of you are evil. But here's my point. I want this man dead. The Archbishop of Gluttony, Roy Alfard. I want him dead. Kill the man, alright? Kill this dude for taking Rem away from us. Best girl in the series. Taking her away from us. Let me continue. As soon as the child claimed to be Gluttony, Subaru struck with his whip. Slashing through the air, his whip mercilessly cut across his enemy's face. However, well, it's hardly uncommon to encounter those who want a bite of us. His teeth biting the end of the whip, Gluttony spoke brazenly. Okay. Ha ha ha. There we go. Alright. That is crazy. He's the guy responsible for us losing Rem. He is the reason we lost Rem. He is the reason we lost Rem. I'm very angry at that. Isn't the reason why we forgot Rem because of what he did? Okay, so this is just a bunch of things. So here we have Garfield with Mimi and the little boy who he saved, I think. And he has his older sister and Garfield's mother who has 2 new kids. Got you. I mean, it's good art, really. It's always like the art is always good. I like that. And then this is Ricardo, Cruz, Wilhelm, Subaru, and I forgot this lady's name. I've forgotten her name. I've forgotten her name. Can someone remind me? What's the name of this lady on top? Ricardo, Cruz, Wilhelm, Subaru. I forgot her name. Anastasia, that's right. That's Anastasia. Got you. And then here we have a picture of the... Oh, dang, she's huge. Okay, so Capella has the dragon, like she's massive. Okay. So when Capella turns into the dragon, it's huge. And then you have the giant with two big swords. He has 6 other arms. You got the slender lady with the fancy sword. Again, I guess we haven't seen their faces yet. And we have Wilhelm versus the lady. Garfield against the big guy. Ricardo was in the back. Julius launched his spirits up at the top. Was affecting her. Burned a lot of her body off. And then Cruz and Subaru are on support. And Ricardo are on support. That's good. And then here we have Mr. Gluttony. This is him. He looks He looks short. Like this angle makes him look short. Like he's like I mean, he is short, but he's not a tall guy. But I know guys are talking about. I know a few of you are talking about the way he's referring to himself as an us. We are okay. He refers to himself in third person plural. We are the witch's cult. We. Okay, interesting. It's hardly uncommon to encounter those who want a bite of us. So it's possible, I mean, I don't know for sure, maybe he has some sort of identity, like multi-personality identity type character, maybe. I don't remember him particularly speaking that way when we initially saw him versus Rem, so this must be new. Or maybe, if it's not new, I definitely don't remember. Okay. This was a very good chapter. This was a very, plot-heavy chapter. A lot of things happened in this chapter. And to be quite honest, because I'm not going to read another one, because we have to go and watch anime. I'm not going to read another one. But to be very honest, I think that the setup here is very interesting, to where we have two. So, okay, let me get this straight. So we have 2 archbishops in the city. Well, there were 3 previously. In fact, okay, there were 3. I was wondering if I should count that chain lady who Betelgeuse's wife. I was wondering if I should count her as an archbishop. Was she an archbishop? Can you remind me? It's been a while. The Betelgeuse's wife. Is she an archbishop? Okay, so Betelgeuse's wife was in the city. Regulus was in the city. Gluttony is in the city. And Lust is in the city. There are 4 archbishops in this one city. That's crazy. That is crazy. Like, we went for a while without only seeing 1 archbishop at a time, and then in this arc, boom, he gives you 4 archbishops in one city for a showdown. That's honestly good on Nagatsuki for that. I think that makes for very compelling TV. 4 archbishops in the city is pretty overkill. That is overkill. Well, there were. I don't think there are, but there were. Because Regulus left, sir, and, yeah. Okay. So, I'll be back to read ReZero on YouTube. As I'm reading this, I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is just have ReZero streams where maybe, I don't know if I can do it tomorrow. Like maybe on Tuesday, read 1 chapter. On Thursday, read 1 chapter. And then on, no, I want to do this Sunday, read 1 chapter on Sunday. Read another chapter on Tuesday. Read another on Thursday. And maybe read 1 on Saturday before. So, because I don't want to read multiple chapters at once. But I want to have streams where I want to have YouTube streams dedicated to reading ReZero. I think I can do that. So, I'm not going to read tomorrow, but on Tuesday I'll come back and do a ReZero only stream where we'll just read the chapter. And I'll just leave it up. That'll be safe. I think that'll be safe because I'm just reading ReZero. So ReZero is fine. ReZero will not get hit. I'll just come on, read 1 chapter, because I don't think I can do 2 chapters, because I got to go do other stuff. But I'll read 1 chapter multiple times per week. So today's Sunday. I'll come back on Tuesday. I'll come back on Thursday, and then I guess then after that, the next time will be Sunday. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. ReZero streams. That should be fine. I think I can do that. Just set it up. Just read ReZero. Anyway. If you guys would allow me to shamelessly plug, we're going to go to Twitch right now and go and watch Mushoku Tensei. I'm going to watch 86. I'm going to watch... I'm heading over to Twitch right now. I just put a link in the chat. We're going to go watch 86, Mushoku Tensei, and Shield Hero, 1 episode of each, because it's very late. I don't want to go on for too long, but I'm going to watch 1 episode of all those 3. So if you're interested in that, you can just use the link I have, and then we're heading over right now. So thank you guys for coming. If you're watching this, you're watching the VOD that I'm going to leave up. You should try, like, put notifications on so you know when I'm streaming ReZero. Join the Discord. The Discord is in the description. And let me see. And follow the Twitch account, all that good stuff. ReZero is back on the channel in full. We're back with a bang. Okay? We're back with a bang. So I'll see you guys on the Twitch side, and if you can't make it to Twitch, I'll see you guys in the next Rebirth video. Alright? So, let me see. So guys, thank you for coming. Let's go to Twitch. Let's go to Twitch.